Welcome to Empower Her Radio, the podcast for healthcare moms who want to break free from limiting beliefs, build unshakable confidence, and step into the truest expression of themselves, both personally and professionally. I'm your host, Corey Winn. I'm a wife, a mom, a doctor of physical therapy, and a peak performance strategist. Working with highly motivated women to transform their lives and inspire those around them is what truly lights my soul on fire. Each episode, whether it's a solo session filled with actionable strategies or an inspiring interview with a woman who has overcome significant obstacles, is designed to leave you feeling worthy and confident in the value you have to offer everyone around you. I hope you walk away empowered and ready to take that next step to lead your life on purpose. Now, let's dive into today's show. All right, welcome to the show today. I am so excited for our guest because we can all relate to needing more time to do everything we want to get done. But nobody likes to talk about time management. It's boring, it's scary. For a lot of people, it feels completely overwhelming. And so many of my clients talk about trying that and just never going anywhere with it. And so many just continue to push forward and do endless lists despite feeling like they never get anything done and are in survival mode all day long. And most of my career and most of my clients, I've taught time blocking and putting your rocks in your schedule and figuring out your day that way and just chipping away at it little bit by little bit. And I had a client a few years back say, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And I remember sitting there thinking, okay, well, now what do we do? Because I don't know anything else. And a few weeks ago, our guest today posted on LinkedIn, I tried time blocking once, but my calendar looked more like a game of Tetris gone wrong. And I thought, that's exactly what my calendar looks like. So I knew I needed to invite her on the show and have us get a little bit of information about what else we can do to manage our time, have more ideas so that I can give my clients and you guys. So I want to welcome Julie Gardner from Rise Up Journey Coach. She loves watching people make shift towards their goals. Her tagline is minding people's business. She was a special education teacher before getting her master's in mental health counseling. And while teaching, she became a Mary Kay consultant and has managed a full-time and a part-time business for over 28 years. She has learned to manage her time well in that time. She has been a top producer in sales for the 28 years in B2C and B2B spaces. She is currently a sales coach with Rise Up Journey Coaching, helping newbies to ramp up quick and getting veterans unstuck into the next level. Julie is certified in emotional freedom technique and utilizes Simply Healed and inner child work. In her spare time, you can find her knitting and on the golf course. So I want to welcome Julie to the show.
Hello. I was just thinking as you were talking, I go, oh, I should really get my little planner, and I don't see where it is, but I didn't bring it over here. So we'll just imagine that, because that's part of what I do is I have a daily routine planner, which I love. But hey, so glad to be here. Are you on time today?
Do what?
Are you on time today? Are you on schedule?
I think we're on time today. We'll find out in a little bit. But hey. I do want to go back to the Tetris game, because if I put a screenshot of my calendar right now, it's color coded and tagged. And honestly, I think some people would be utterly freaked out and overwhelmed by the amount of little colored blocks that I have. So I'm so glad you're here to chat about another way of getting things done, because so many of my clients talk about feeling lost, talking about feeling in survival mode all the time and not having time for self-care. So the floor is yours. What can you help us with?
Well, thanks. Well, first of all, let's talk about this. So I have worked with women that don't have a job, that are stay-at-home moms, with like 5 children and maybe some goats in the backyard. So I understand like, which that would be I thought that was going to be my life and that was not. So I got married at 30 and so I took a minute. And so, but I've had stay-at-home moms. I've had moms that work part-time and then have their kids. I've worked with busy business women with no kids. I've worked with men that are just like, I don't know what to do. And men, that's a whole nother level of women spin plates. This is what goes on in a woman's mind. A man, it doesn't even
Yes.
move. It doesn't
The
even move.
mental load, the
Oh
mental
my
load
gosh.
that we are all always spinning around that
Yes.
nobody sees is always in the background.
Yes. Yes. So, first of all, I just want to invite everyone to a collective deep breath. And as you let out the air, just let all expectations of perfection go. Okay, ready? Now, why do we do that? Perfectionism is annoying. If you're a perfectionist, you're annoying. Stop it. Stop it. No one's
Recovering
perfect.
perfectionist over here, still working through that.
Oh, but you don't have to be. I mean, don't we love people's flaws? I
Yes.
think I do my hair like this because it's different every day. It sometimes is leaning this way. I do my hair this way because like, well, if that's all she could do with her hair, well, I guess I've already won. See, I'm letting people have a win already. It's just fun because gosh, our hair alone is a battle for women, right? So then you start your day, you're like, is it a hat day or not? Are we just chopping it off? Do we ponytail it?
Hmm.
Find what is easy. By the way, here's another hack. I've sold Mary Kay for 28 years. I know I look awesome. I look 15. Pick one color, ladies, one eyeshadow color and rock it out and keep it simple and, you know, or get 4 of the same lipstick and put them in all different areas of your life. And then you're like, I know where my lipstick is. Oh, it's in the kitchen cabinet, whatever works. And sometimes you got to do these hacks, but so much is this expectation. So let me tell you a quick story. I grew up in a Baptist church. My mom was the church lady. My parents were not on staff, but you would think that she was. She was at we were there Sunday morning for Sunday school, church. Then we'd stand around for an hour. My mom was gossiping. I was playing at the foosball table. She would tell you she was sharing prayer requests. She was gossiping. And then we would go home, have lunch, have a nap. We would pass out for a good hour or two. Then we go back to church for wait, where am I at now? Right there. Choir, discipleship, church service again. And then went back there on Wednesday night. That was a lot. She obviously she did work from home because she and my dad had their own business, but she was like, I gotta get away from these kids. There was 3 of us right in a row. But when I grew up with that was how we did life. And so as an adult, I struggled with and I was like 25 after college. I was involved in so much stuff at church because I thought I had to have a full-time job and do all the things at church. I
Hmm.
had to quit that mindset. Then I finally told the people no and only did church and Sunday school. And then I finally got to just doing I'm still a leader, and some of y'all are leaders, and so you don't know how to say no. But I learned to unplug. And do you know, I don't even go to church now. Heathen. But yeah, I do go to church. I go to church online. Sometimes I go visit a couple different churches every month. It's kind of crazy, but it works and it is what it is. And I did start my own small group of ladies. But the point is I had to break free from the expectation that I grew up with.
Hmm.
And so I just want to, first of all, encourage you if you don't do anything else, maybe rewrite your story and start journaling like, what were the expectations put on me? What does being a great woman or a great mom or a great wife look like? Make a list and then go back over it and actually draw a line through. That may not even be true
Hmm.
because my husband does not care if I cook. As long as I mean, he'll figure it out. He's like, I'm good, whatever you want to do, which is a
Hmm.
gift. But it also kind of messed up my thought process of wait, I need to make great meals and we need to have, meat, veggie, carb, an occasional dessert. No, he didn't need any of that. And I was kind of disappointed, but it's worked. 20 years of marriage, it's worked. So, are there some expectations on yourself you need to get rid of? So, do an inventory. That's so important.
Oh,
And
I love
then my mom and I we look a lot alike. She now has gray hair, but and I don't, but we have kind of the same hairstyle. Actually, I have more of my brother's hairstyle than my mom's, but that's another story. But my mom and I look a lot alike, but we do not have the same exact purpose in life.
Mhm.
She's amazing at baking and encouraging, and I am more in the business world, and I love business women. I love women with goals and getting them going and I'm more of a professional cheerleader without the pom-poms, but anyhow, that's what I love to do. And I've discovered I'm very good at activating people. So people that are stuck in the mud, I get them activated. I
Mhm.
used to coach for a company that would coach for 12 months. I'm like, I don't really want to hang out with people for 12 months. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? But I really enjoy getting them going for like 3 months and then they're off. Like, fly, little birdie, fly. And I can partner them up with other people that they need. But we're different, my mom and I had to get real clear on, well, who am I and what are my special gifts? And if I had to narrow down my one gift to one thing, it is gift of encouragement.
Mhm.
That's it. I love words of affirmation. I love to speak encouragement to one another, others. And Corey, can you think of what your one gift is? And it might be perfectionism. I don't know. I I wouldn't waste your one gift on that one because you're very talented, but everybody think about the
I
one
think
gift.
honestly, my gift to myself at this point is that I've learned to say no and that
Ooh,
boundaries are important. So that
yes.
doesn't necessarily a gift that I can give other people outside of teaching that, but learning boundaries and being able to say no, because just like you were just saying, the
Mhm,
expectations that I have of what I should be able to carry and should be able to do my whole life, you know, came crumbling down at some point and was like, I cannot do all of this.
mhm.
So being able to say no.
And did you find that while you were looking at and evaluating your stuff, did you ever have a conversation with your husband and say, "Hey, honey, I've been doing this for you, but do you even like it? Or do you even need it?" And he's like, "No, I don't care."
I don't know if it was so much of that, but it was probably a year ago that I heard the term mental load. And I had had it for years, but learning that typically women carry like 2/3 of the mental load of the things that are going around all the time, I just sat down with them and said, I I need to get some of this off of my plate. And
Mhm,
he's like, "Okay, what can I do?" And he handles the groceries and the meal planning. And just not having to think about what we're figuring out for dinner was massive. And I only have one kiddo and two dogs. So my friends who have 6, 7 kids, I'm like, I can't even imagine figuring out the meal plan for the week for all of those people.
I think
Um,
they just make a bigger dish of it,
yeah,
that's all. They
well,
just buy
yeah,
more chicken.
probably. But just not having to think about that anymore is
Oh, that's huge.
huge.
Yes. So, it's so funny, and okay, so then the next question is, how is it serving you as, like, the martyr or the, hero? Because we're taking on all this stuff, and we're like, "Wait a minute, and you and I have chatted about this before, who are you away from all those tasks?
Right,
Who
right.
and it's scary, like, am I enough? Because that's the core issue so many times. And women want to know, am I lovely? Am I enough? So strip away all those Girl Scout badges and go, well, am I enough even without all the badges? Probably, I would say yes.
Most
Probably.
definitely.
Probably, yeah. Because otherwise, why would you be on this earth taking up my airspace if you weren't worth anything, right? Get out of here. I need all that air. No, honestly, gang, yeah, you have a reason for being here. You have a purpose. Mine is just to elevate. And it's so funny because Corey and I are in a coaching group together. And it's like, okay, well, what value do you bring to the world? I'm like, well, can I sell cheerleading? Because I cheerlead for people. Like, can you make money as a cheerleader? How does that work? That's another story too. But yeah, really evaluate, who am I even without the Girl Scout badges?
Mhm,
And then if I only had to offer just my encouragement, well, how can I turn that up? Because
mhm.
that comes out of me like a sweat on a summer day because it just naturally comes out, right?
especially
And
in
so
Alabama.
oh yes, y'all, I live in Alabama. I forget that we are across country.
For
So
growing up in the South. Oh, yes.
for
I
you
love it.
Minnesotans, I said like sweat's coming out on a summer day. Interpret, please. So, yeah, it's so easy for me to just be in my skin and have fun and encourage others. Like I'm making a meal for somebody tomorrow. It's a rotisserie chicken I'm buying at the store and salad. So I'm not even cooking. But that's what she wanted. I gave her a list and she picked that. But what can you do that's fun for you? My girlfriend's been helping people move and pack. I'm like, oh, no, not it, not me.
Mhm.
What was easy for her? She has 5 children. So she has this whole gaggle of kids that comes along and helps. And so she's gifted with many hands. So for those of
And
you,
I love what you said about being a martyr, because if we all sat down and wrote a list of everything that had to be done throughout the day and checked off the things that we personally had to do versus what somebody else could do, I mean, delegating out and getting rid of some of the stuff that doesn't require your expertise is amazing.
so if you're kind of like, well, that's nice, y'all, but where do I even start? I would say, okay, take 5 minutes. I love my timer. My timer is my best time management tool on my phone. And I set it for 5 minutes or 15. I'm a 15-minute girl all day long because you can do anything in 15 minutes. So, but set your timer for 5 minutes and get quiet and just focus on your breath. And I like to put my hand on my chest, and that's something it's very soothing and comforting. And then I envision my spirit of truth, and I go, okay, what's true? What do you say about me? What's my role today? Because we live in this little container today. Isn't that nice? We get to take a nap and then we get out and we start a new day, get out of the bed. And some of us only sleep for 4 hours at times. Some of us get a whole 8 hours of sleep. What does that mean or look like? But every day we have this little container that we have enough for the day. We might not have enough for tomorrow. We can't fix yesterday, but we got enough for today. And so just taking 5 minutes, go, what do I need to be about today? And set the intention and go for it. So it might be, gee, my little girl Evie, she's just having a meltdown emotionally today. For some reason, I need to go sit with her, excuse me, and just be available for Evie. Most parents say when that's going on and they take 5 minutes with their kid, they think, okay, I'll be here for an hour. They're done in 5 minutes. Sometimes it's all you need. Maybe your intention is, gum, I have got to mop the kitchen floor. There's layers of Velveeta cheese in there, and I don't know what else. It's time. Sometimes you're like, it has gone too long. So if pick one thing, you don't have to have a perfectly clean house. It doesn't represent um your worthiness. I used to have people over my house all the time. And I used to have a regular housekeeper. And I'd say, y'all, housekeeper's coming tomorrow. I ain't cleaning in the meantime because that's a waste of money. So they sat in my dirt, which was dust, right? Or crumbs on the floor. It is okay. Nobody died and they kept coming back. So they still like me. So let some things go, but figure out what your method is. The other thing is pick that intention, keep it real simple, and then visualize help coming. The older I get, the less I understand about theology. It's so interesting. I'm like, I know less about that now because I know too much. But there's a great book called Higher in the Heavens. Jean Slatter wrote it, and she says you just kind of walk through your day mentally, like, okay, let's say today I got to go to the grocery store, I got to make that one meal for that family, and then I need to organize my husband's sock drawer because that man has 400 pairs of socks. And then you can kind of go, okay, hey, angels, y'all want to help me out with this? What do you want on the list? Go ahead. I actually had a conversation, like I get little ideas. And like I used to do life coaching and then I kind of stopped and I was focused on sales coaching only. And my price was much higher. And so just the average Joe couldn't come work with me because that's a little high. Well, I went back to why couldn't I have more life coaching clients and lower my price? And so, do you know, somebody called me yesterday and said, hey, I got a client for you. I need you to talk to this person. I'm like, okay. So sometimes little ideas are coming to us and we need to welcome that thought in and just be open. You don't have to do anything more than that. Like, well, that could be fun. And then let it go. And imagine, like, I got these little bookshelves here. What if you just stuck it on the bookshelf and an angel can't, like, that's the angel's responsibility right there. I don't have to do that one. And just watch it and see. So pick one thing out this week that you can go, I just don't know how my toilet's going to get clean. It's gross. It's due. I don't know how it's going to get done. I hate doing the toilet. So I'm going to put it right there and see what happens. My husband got up the other day and he cleaned something. I was like, whoop. So you just never know. So pick something, and it could be something small, and just test it out. The other thing is get rid of some of your junk. This is a wonderful thing, a blank shelf. Whoo, it's wonderful. Trash bags were created for a reason, the big black ones. Fill it up. I love to do a 10-minute declutter. Get you a bag, get you a box, and set the timer for 10 minutes and see how much you can toss. Or walk
You know,
around and just
I love that so much because I talk with so many moms and we have to go through our kids' stuff when they're not here. I have the biggest little pack rat I have ever seen. And when I first got married, many of you know that I am a stepmom. And I remember my husband's garage was filled. And I was just like, we have got to get rid of some of this stuff. And he said, no, we can't. They love it. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't get it until I lived through having a little of my own and moving forward. And you find things that they haven't seen in 12 years and they're like that. So I love purging, but I do understand that purging my own things is where I have to start and not purging anybody else's.
oh yeah, my husband's sock drawer, I have like honey. And he goes, why do you care? I'm like, because I can't put your stuff away when I'm trying to put laundry. It's like a Olympic sport trying to get more. I don't know why. Where's all these socks come from? But it is what it is. But yes, we really should take care of our own mess first. We really should. And it's amazing. My mom was in a house for 36 years, is moving today to an apartment. She got rid of 80% of her stuff, just tossed it.
Uh-huh.
Went through it. My dad was a photographer for amateur. She had pictures. She had pictures. We thought she had gone through them. She still found more. I don't know where they all came from, but she's okay. She's okay. And now I did see a hoarder show, and one of the best ideas was this kid had a bed full of stuffed animals. And the people running the show said, you get to pick three. We're going to take pictures of you and all the others. Now, I am a hoarder of pictures on my digital phone. So I love to take pictures of things, but I'll take a picture of it and then it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I love the app Evernote and I use Dropbox. Evernote is, I have 13,000 notes in my Evernote account right now. I've had it for a while, but I save everything, receipts and pictures. I save everything in that. But what a great way to get rid of things, but yet still keep them in your heart. Even clothes that you love, that one outfit, like, because you know what? There's just so many memories attached to it. It just feels so great. Take a picture, send it on its way. There's no way I can fit into it again. So send it on its way. But get rid of the clutter. I know this about me because I love to write things down. It helps me process in my brain. But I will, like today, I made some notes. I won't take a picture of this, but I might take a picture of it, put it in my Evernote, and I'm done. And I tag it so I can find it later. Tagging is huge. Having a system to keep up with some things is huge. But you've got to eliminate the clutter because there's less to manage. So I'm going to go back to the mindset. Why, if you had two choices, you can have all the clutter, you can have the chaos, you can have the spinning,
Mm-hmm.
and it's exhausting, but okay, you're welcome to have it. Or you can have a life that's a lot more calmer, a lot more filled with great memories with your kids, a lot more peace. You're empowering your children. Hey, you got to choose 3 out of the 100. Which are they? You're
Mm-hmm.
teaching them things, you're letting things go, and then you're making room for more things. There's something about, is it the law of the vacuum where if you clear out more, then more can come in?
Yeah.
What are you keeping out of your life because you got too much junk crammed in there?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh,
And
I love that. Being able to open
yeah,
yourself up to more and bigger and better.
yes. And we should always be expanding, not our waistline, but our mindset and our life experiences. Sometimes my mind does that when I have life experiences. Um, but what if, just like friends, are there people in your life that are just grumpy? Grumpy.
Mhm.
My neighbor, she's 72. She does not let me get the second sentence out of my mouth. She'll let me have one sentence out and then she's off to the races running her mouth. That's not a very good friend, honestly.
Mhm.
It's just not. So I can spend less time with her. I can still say, hey, what's up, lady? Or let's go out to eat once a month. But I don't need to spend 3 days a week with her. But I
Mhm.
can have more room in my life now with somebody that I am working on goals with and excited to work with and feeds my soul. So even your friends, you need to declutter and simplify. And oh, by the way, when your friend texts you or calls you and they just on the phone, that's not good time management. Go, hey, listen, I'm getting another call. I'm gonna have to call you next week. Bye.
I love that. I heard, I don't know exactly who it was from, but essentially, if you have an interaction with a friend and you don't both equally leave feeling energized after, then it's not worth your time. And that, having grown up in the South, for all my Southern people out there, I hope you can relate. There is a huge expectation of society and family and being and keeping, and it took me years to be able to let go and recognize, okay, that's not serving me. That family member's not serving me. That friend's not serving me. That life situation, whatever it is, if it's not building you up, oh, I love that. Let it go.
So I think we could summarize this to say the best time management might be dreaming again. I know
Mhm.
that seems like, well, what does that have to do with a calendar? I'll tell you. But what if you just got off base? So many people started passing you all this junk. It's kind of like, why have you been to those junk stores where you can go, like the Salvation Army, you can go and dump your junk there? Why is your house the Salvation Army where everybody's dumping their junk? Stop. Stop it. You're not a Girl Scout. You're not a Salvation Army store. Stop it. Just say, I'm unavailable for that. Hang the sign closed up and stop taking everybody's junk and start clean it out, remodel your own house and figure out, okay, how do I want my house to look? I don't need everybody's hand-me-downs. I don't need everybody's clutter. I don't need your leftover socks that are gray and gross, and go get you some fresh ones, girlfriend. But so we need to dream again. What is it? And this one might take 30 minutes, but it's the best 30 minutes you could spend. If you could redo the whole thing and you can't get rid of your kids nor your husband, but what would you like to have if you could upgrade just a little this next year and start dreaming about it? The more you dream and get reappointed, the more excited you're going to be, the easier it will be to save time in your calendar. Then, this is how I do my whole calendar every week. I do it the week before, but I get a week at a glance. I make an Excel spreadsheet, draw it on a sheet of paper. It doesn't matter. But then the first thing that needs to go on your thing, I put my appointments down, right? Because that's taken time. But then I need to, I write my dream across the top and I say, what's my dream right now? And I have several of them. Like I want to write a book, but, and I also, so here's some of my dreams. I want to write a book on how to manage your husband. It's going to be a little bit different than that. It's a lovely book. You might relate, but it's not written yet. How to manage your husband in a lovely way. I want to have a house close to the university where I live to let aged out of foster care students that are going to university have a free place to live, but they have to hang out with me once a month for a dinner. Like that's one of my dreams, just to mentor and be a support and give free housing to former foster care kids. And those are two of my dreams. And then I also want to retire my husband because he'll be more delightful and helpful not working. He actually hasn't had a chance to live out his dream, and he doesn't know his dream yet, but we are working on that. He just knows he had to work. But so I would put down for like at the top of my list, earn enough money to connect with the foster kids. And I actually do want to connect with the lady that runs the social services at the college. So you write down your goal at the top, and then you find at least 1 hour a week, and it could be 2 30 minutes of time, but maybe you just put a dream and you color it a pretty color. If you got a glitter pen, do that because it's more fun to color. But make time at least 1 hour a week for your dream, and then fill in the blank of other things. So, and then how about a routine? Have a morning routine and then have an evening routine. And if everyone knows what the routine is, it makes things simpler and your brain can relax a little.
I love that.
So, what are you resisting? What are you afraid of? Write that down, journal it out, get connected to your dream, dream again. Sometimes you might be thinking, I had 4 children and they just stripped the dream right out of me. I used to want to do this, but I can't because I got kids. I bet it could be incorporated with your kids though.
Well, and I hear so many people. I just talked with a client the other day. She said, I just feel so lost. And I think so many of us don't even recognize that we're just living in survival mode all day long. And people talk about dreaming, people talk about doing things for their own self-care, and they just look at me and they're like, oh yeah, that's a luxury that I don't have. So just setting up the space, quiet time, even if, I have friends who get up at 4 o'clock in the morning because that's the time in their
Mhm.
house that it's quiet, that they can drink their coffee and they can sit and think about what they want. Because you can't have any type of time management without being clear on what you're trying to manage. Oh,
It's
I love
true. So I have 2 fun little games you can play for the summer with your kiddos so you can have quiet time. First is get a roll of dimes at the bank and then go in the backyard and go, ready, kids? And take them all in your hand and go, treasure hunt. And then they go hunt up the change
that.
in
I
the
love
yard.
that.
You sit in the shade, they get burnt. It's all good. Or you practice time every day this summer and you play pirate ship. And you say, y'all got 5 minutes to grab everything you need on your pirate ship because you're going to be stuck on the pirate ship for an hour. And you give them a timer, say, play all you want, make all the noise you want. I cannot save you. So if you bump your kid, your brother, in the head with a sword and he's bleeding, I can't help you because I'm going to be on the shore and you're out to sea on the pirate ship. So don't get out of the bed. The alligators will get you. Have your snacks. I don't care. Who cares if red Kool-Aid spills all over the comforter? It doesn't matter. It will wash. They are trapped on the pirate ship. Teach them survival skills. Teach them to do life without you. They want to take their iPad, whatever. Well, you don't have to.
Oh, I love that.
Those are my 2 ideas for you so you can have some peace and quiet. I don't know
Oh
if it'll
my
work,
gosh.
but ta-da.
Hey, my daughter has a pirate costume complete with the eye patch and the hat and everything. I will be trying that this week. I
Oh
love that.
yeah. Oh yeah. Let me know how it goes. Well,
Yeah.
guys, I think if you just connect to who you are and how you were made and what you're made for, and you know what, things change. If you saw the number of jobs I've had, you're like, well, you're a professional job changer. Yes, I am. But I'm very project oriented. That's why. And that's who I am. I'm variety. I'm different all the time, but it's fun. It all comes back down to helping people gain money, make life easier, and activate them. So there is a theme.
Just having fun again. As a wife and a mom, we get so caught up in all the things we have to do and all the other things that it's like, what happened to the fun? What happened when I was 25 or whatever? And being able to play and have fun and do the things that you enjoy. I had a mom just the other day say, do you have hobbies? I don't even have hobbies anymore.
No.
And I was like, go back to before you had children, before you were married. What did you enjoy? And then how can you add that back in? I mean, there's things that I liked to do when I was 20 that I could care less about now. But there's some things like I could go spend hours walking around a garden shop and be perfectly happy. Does anybody else in my family enjoy that? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So that's my quiet time.
Yeah. And why not
Oh,
co-op with a friend? Go get a friend and say, listen, I need an hour. You take my kid and I'll take yours tomorrow for an hour.
yeah,
The
absolutely.
kids would much rather play with a friend anyways than you.
100%.
My friend said having one child was harder than having two because she eventually had two.
Okay. I
So
don't
she
know.
said,
I have one bio and two amazing bonus kiddos, but there's lots of years between.
yeah,
So there
yeah,
wasn't a time that they were all around together.
yeah.
So I love
Well,
it.
if you guys need anything, holla.
Yes. Just let it pop in real quick and let us know how everybody can get in touch with you. And then I'll also link everything in the show notes as well so that people can reach out to you if they have questions and connect.
The easiest thing, and my website does talk about sales coaching, but book a discovery call. That's the easiest way to find me and connect with me. And I do life coaching and I can help you clear any of the clutter out. So if you're like, Julie, I don't know how to sit still and do nothing, or I couldn't connect, I don't know what I'm supposed to be, we can reconnect you to that. And the good news is I don't want to work with anybody for 12 months. So it won't take that
You'll get
long.
done quickly. I love it.
I do everything fast. Just ask my husband. He's like, and I talk fast. So for you slow talkers, I'm sorry. Just move the talking thing to move the speed to 0.7 and then you'll understand what I said.
There you go. All right. I love it. Thank you so much for coming today.
It's so
I'm
much
sure
fun.
we'll have you on the show again.
Thanks. Bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's show. I just wanted to pop in with a quick offer. If any of the topics we talked about today have left you wanting more for your life and you just aren't sure how to take the next step, I'd love to offer a free discovery call to see how the high-level coaching and strategizing I offer may be of service to you. Just head to corywinn.com and click on Request a Discovery Call. That's www.coreyWinn.com. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you on the next episode.